Welcome to the Snohomish Storytellers. Here, in our little corner of the universe in Snohomish, we have a strong sense of community and heritage founded in the whispers of yesterday's stories and the narrative of what is being written today. Snohomish Storytellers captures this through organic conversation between Snohomies, former, present, and future.
This podcast is brought to you by the historic Downtown Snohomish Association. Our mission is to promote, preserve, and improve the Downtown Historic District as the heart and soul of the City of Snohomish. My name is Megan Hetherington, Executive Director of HDSA, and my lovely co-host is
Sheila DeVerder, Board Member of HDSA. With us today is also our podcast producer and Vice President of HDSA, Trent DeVerder.
And welcome to our podcast.
Megan.
Sheila.
I feel like we need to start coming up with like new intros because now this is just expected.
Well, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That is true. That is true. Speaking of fixing things, we get to talk to, in this episode, one of, I think, a really interesting job. And we have our guest, Tim Cross from Public Works in the City of Snohomish. And a lot of his job is fixing things.
He fixes all the things.
Right.
And as we kind of allude to in the podcast, if you aren't noticing it, it means they're doing a really good job.
It's because he already fixed it.
Yes, they've already done it. Already been there. It was a great eye-opener to how many things that department touches.
By so few people.
Yes. I think that was the thing that you were most surprised about was the size of the department.
Yeah.
And that they are responsible for so many miles of pipes and acres of landscape and miles of road. Like there's so many things because they do take care of the entire city.
Right.
With actually a relatively small but mighty team.
Yeah. For folks that like statistics, Tim has a whole list of numbers that he rattled off that just blew me away. Not that I have, I think, good, background in this department that I could make good estimates to begin with. But it is still very, very surprising how much they are able to accomplish with such a strong but mighty team.
Yeah. And it's like you don't realize what all goes into it.
Yeah.
But we also did, get the chance to talk about there's things that are probably core memories that you have that are thanks to Public Works because of, holiday things or the elements of decor that they put in, which we didn't even get to talk about, like the flower baskets. That is a program that they contribute to heavily every year. And so just the things that make it nice for you to be here, enjoying parks, enjoying events, being in historic areas, being able to cross the street. These are all things that they do the work to put into effect for you. So I'm really grateful for Tim and the partnership that we've developed with HDSA and Public Works. Yeah. And just for his friendly team and how they engage with the public and that they're out there just doing the work every day and
doing a very hard work out there, no matter the weather.
So at the end of this episode, your homework is to thank the next Public Works guy or gal that you see out doing their job.
If you see any orange vests out and about,
give them a nod, say
give
thanks.
them a cookie or some donuts and just tell them how much you appreciate everything that they do to make our city run the way that it does.
Yep. And you'll learn more coming up here. Tim Cross, Public Works.
Yay.
Welcome to our episode today.
Yes,
Sheila.
Chapter 4.
Wow, 4 already.
Yeah, time flies.
It really does.
Just like the year.
Speaking of time flying, our guest tonight is one of the first city staff that I had the pleasure of meeting and one of the first city staff to say, yes, we can do that. So he was automatically one of my favorites.
The only person I've ever said yes to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm the no person.
You were special, Megan.
I feel even extra special.
No is safe.
Yeah.
That's so true. That is so true. With us tonight, we have Tim Cross.
Yes.
He is the operations manager.
Public Works operations manager for the City of Snohomish.
Thank you. So what's Public Works, Tim? Define it for us.
Define it. Public Works are the guys you see in orange all over town, right? That pothole that you hit in the morning and you cuss somebody out. Those are the guys that go fix that. Same with the water that comes out of your tap. Most people, as long as their water's flowing out and they get a glass of water, they can take a shower and it goes away. Well, there's a lot more to it than that.
Right.
Our utilities guys make sure that water is flowing to your house and that the other water is going away from your house. So
the undesirable water.
Yeah, undesirable water. And, the parks guys, the same guys in Orange that you see out mowing our lawns and keeping our ball fields in good shape and our playground structures safe and
clearing the blackberry bushes. That's my favorite is when you guys do that on the roads.
Spring and fall.
Yeah.
Busy times.
Yes. Same guys you see plowing the snow in First Street when the snow hits. So,
yeah.
Love those guys.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to have you on this podcast was because I was reflecting on how much I didn't know about public works until I started working directly with the city through my role at Main Street. And I was like, man, I have to talk to public works. I shouldn't say have to. I get to talk to public works a lot. And I don't know that the average citizen understands how much public works actually contributes to the experience that you have in your city or in your town. So one thing that I think is cool is that public works does a lot of the fun stuff, actually. So maybe you guys don't think it's fun.
It's like, define fun for me.
Yeah. You mean all that work? No, they do. There is a lot of fun, and that's what I think keeps the guys going. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff to our jobs too.
Right.
I mean, you're in the middle of the night because the water main's broken or there was an accident in the middle of an intersection. We have to come in and clean that up.
Yeah. Oh, that's you guys.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of bad, but there's a lot of good that go with it. And there's a lot of partnerships that happen, just like HDSA downtown with the Christmas decor and things down First Street. So, and the guys, they enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
They also gripe at me about, adding a workload to them. But when it comes to those things, they're kind of fun and they enjoy doing those kind of things.
Yeah.
Gets them out of the day-to-day routines. So
yeah, the more mundane things. Yeah. So the item that you said yes to was the Christmas tree. So we'll tell the Christmas tree story real quick.
The Christmas tree.
So I was hired on as the executive director for HDSA, and I found out that we had something to do with the tree lighting. And my very first question was, can we move the tree from the bathrooms somewhere else?
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we have it at the Carnegie? The Carnegie is this beautiful building that we have available to us now. It seems like that would be an appropriate place to have the tree. So I had met Sherry, and she was one of the only people that I knew to talk to. She was also brand new in the role. Yes. So she's like, I don't know, let's talk to Tim. So there we are sitting at Starbucks. And it seems like everybody was on board with this change because it had been kind of a hassle before. Would you like to tell the story of how we used to get Christmas trees in Snohomish?
Way back in the beginning of time, when the first Santa Claus arrived in Snohomish, the crews would go out a few months before Christmas and they'd go to the different tree farms in the area and they'd find a 20-foot Christmas tree and they'd take it down, tag it and say, okay, we'll be back, week before Thanksgiving or whatever. We're going to get this tree. Then they'd have to go wherever that tree was, whether it was in Granite Falls or Woodinville or wherever the tree farm was. They'd go up there and they'd cut that tree and then they'd have to load it on a trailer, haul it back to the shop, trim that tree, and then put the stand on the tree because that tree at the time downtown had a big metal stanchion that went into the ground. So it held that tree up. It wasn't very user-friendly, but it was getting to the point where those big trees, you're just not going to find them. So then Megan come and wanted to move the tree to Carnegie, which I thought was a good idea. And then I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to dig a hole in this brand new concrete at this brand new building that's just been remodeled to get a tree stuck in there? And I got to find this tree because it's coming up.
Yeah.
So we went to the administration and they granted us the funding to purchase the artificial tree that we have now. And I think it's a great tree. I think
it looks great. Beautiful.
And everything's replaceable, so you can freshen it up. You can add to it, make it a bigger tree.
Which I think is so cool.
Over the years, you can...
Each year, just add another foot into it.
Add another foot, and it just keeps growing like a real tree.
Right.
So, it's turned out to be a really good thing. And I think just seeing the people at the Carnegie, the amount of people that you get there now with the holiday tree lighting is a lot better now than what it was in the middle of the street.
And in front downtown. Of the bathrooms. Like, people...
Well, that was perfect. You can take your kids right in and get right back out to lighting.
And then all of your pictures will have those metal doors, the bathroom doors in front of
it. So beautiful, the background. I know. And I actually remember talking to Santa because I was like, hey, I got to let you know where to park your reindeer this year so that you come to the right building. And he's like, oh, I'm really going to enjoy coming out of that beautiful building instead of coming out of the men's room. Like, yeah, I get that.
I didn't know that he used to come like straight out of the bathroom.
Well, basically,
It was right behind the tree.
Right. Yeah.
So overall, it was just such a great move. And I was so grateful for the partnership. And since the Carnegie was relatively new at that time, it kind of set the stage of like, this is kind of our unofficial town square, right?
Yeah.
This is where we do our community gathering events. This is where we all come together. And it seems like since we did that, which is, it's
Set
a
the
very
foundation for it.
Yeah, it's a very visual event, and it's something that means a lot to a lot of people. So it kind of seems like it, skyrocketed the amount of, or the potential that people got to see of how that space can be used.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a nice building.
Oh yeah,
it's a very nice building.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful as a backdrop. And
yeah, and now that it's back to what it was.
Yeah.
Before it was kind of horrid.
Yeah. So speaking of the Carnegie, that was a project within Public Works, wasn't it?
Yes. So our engineering department handles all of our capital projects. So that went through the engineering department. Brennan Collins was fairly new to the engineering department. That was his real first project.
Wow.
Big project to just kind of get your feet wet on. So I think he did a good job. Turned out really nice.
Yeah.
Especially getting rid of that annex, from the 68 or 7 annex that was on there. That was, it took away from the building.
You couldn't even see the building when the annex was up. One of the stories that Trent and I tell a lot is that we actually took our engagement pictures on the sidewalks in front of the annex. We had zero clue that there was a building behind there. Like we didn't know what the annex
the
was.
Carnegie building was hiding behind that.
Because it was just, overgrown with trees. And we picked that spot because it was like a nice like tunnel of like we had fall foliage and stuff. So it was really pretty, but no clue that there was anything behind there.
Yeah.
The staircase that you see today on the west side of the Carnegie, the entryway, that wasn't there. That got removed when they built the annex.
I didn't realize that.
There was a glass corridor there, hallway kind of system. And then they built a stairwell from the inside of the annex up to the upstairs. So when they tore that annex off, they had to reconstruct from original pictures. They redid the stairwell and the stairs down to the basement.
You wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Great.
Yeah. So that's all new.
Right.
Attached to the old original building. So
yeah. But even just the work that's happened over the last couple of years, really bringing that space to life outside, like redoing the lawn and
the benches,
putting the obelisk back there.
Yeah.
And partnering with the Lions to put the benches back around the trees and replacing the tree. Like it's kind of evolved. And I think the more that it does and the more that we keep adding to it, the more inviting it is and the more people use it.
Space.
Yeah. I love when you just go by there on a day where there's not necessarily an event going on and people are just enjoying the space.
And the parks guys, when they did the lawn area and things, they put all the uplighting,
yes,
around the tree, which we had to take out for the benches. For the
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. But, the big copper beach that's over on the southeast corner lawn there area towards the obelisk.
Yes.
They got uplighting there. They uplighted around the base of the building through the planter areas.
Yeah. And recently it's been like orange and purple for Halloween.
Yeah.
It's so great.
They got a control panel in there and they can change the colors to the seasons. So it's kind of fun.
And that's the same system that's at the gazebo too, right?
Similar. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can change the lighting that they did there.
Yeah. It's so cool.
But all of these things that I feel like people who visit the town, they just, I don't want to say take it for granted, but I doubt anyone's like looking at those lights and being like, I wonder who installed those.
Thank you, Public Works.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's my parks guys.
Yeah. It's one of those kind of invisible behind the scene works that like, if those things aren't there, you would notice it and you would complain about it. But because they are there, everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's another wonderful day in Snohomish.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to Tim, your team, everyone at Public Works. So your role, though, as operations manager. So what is that?
A mess.
A mess.
No.
Organized chaos.
Yes. Organized chaos. I like it. Yeah. No, I oversee parks, facilities, fleet, and streets. Tim Jackson is our utilities manager. He oversees our water quality collections division, which is our wastewater and our storm sewer. So Tim and I work together a lot, different things, working on capital projects with Yosh and our city engineer.
Yeah.
We review those projects with them as they're developing them so we can make sure we're getting the streets and the utilities, the things that we need to keep maintainable.
Right.
So I kind of tell my guys this. As a manager of Public Works, I feel my job is to support them and give them the tools they need to do their job. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give you the things you need to excel at your job. So I'm really kind of the guy behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain.
They're the face. I mean, they are Public Works. They're the guys out in the trenches doing it every day. So I have to be cautious sometimes of saying yes to things like the Christmas tree, because that could come back and bite me later because they had other plans.
It's so funny that you say that. I had a conversation with a gentleman that works in Public Works. I won't throw him under the bus. He was delightful, I will say. Like, he really was. I mean it.
Oh, boy.
We were chatting and he started, it was so funny. He was like, yeah, we have things that are going up. Like, we've got some Christmas decorations and some things, and I really love it. I appreciate it. But like, where are we going to put it? We already don't have storage. So I wish that people that are asking for these things would just understand like all the things that come behind it. I was like, yeah. Listening, like that was me, And then,
as you walk away, thank you.
Yeah. So then he started talking about council members. He was like, so that's one thing I wish, like, if we just had a little bit more of an ear at the council to where we could kind of explain our experience. And I was like, yeah, that's me too. So I was like, this is so great that you had the opportunity to tell me though, without knowing who I was.
Yeah.
Because I appreciated that he wasn't complaining. It wasn't negative. He was just kind of explaining what it's like for him in the role. And I was like, by the way, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for what you do. It doesn't go unnoticed. Like, we do notice it. And it made me realize we need to, as a council and also just as partners, put a little bit more recognition towards what's happening, because I don't think people do understand that it can be a sacrifice, and something that on top of all these important things that just have to keep a city running, they're also doing these extra things that really are enhancing your experience when you're down here. And
these are all the little project things away from the day-to-day maintenance operations things that you do, every day, all day.
Yeah.
And they do enjoy the projects. They do like putting things out there that people see, because a lot of our stuff goes unseen.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, they mowed the lawn. You see that.
Yeah.
You see them mow the grass out at the park. They see that.
Exactly.
Our utilities division, we're out there working and fixing the water main in the middle of the night. You wake up in the morning, the hole's filled up and it's all paved back.
You wouldn't even know.
You'd have no idea that, something happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, these guys are in the trenches, and
they really are.
They are very dedicated.
And they end up being very public facing because they're the ones doing the work. And when people are curious, they go and they ask them all the hard questions. And I feel like they do a really good job engaging and being mindful and respectful and just
that's good.
Nice community members. Yeah. So you're doing a good job cultivating that. And I did promise that individual that I would bring cookies.
Excellent. Cookies go a long
better
ways.
Pull through on that,
Normally,
Megan.
if I show up at Public Works, I show up with cookies because it's like this.
It's a peace offering.
Yeah, exactly. Like, remember when I told you that was my fault? Here's some cookies. Thank you for doing that.
And then they forget. They eat the cookie and they forget.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Whatever you put in them, they're really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you like them. So we kind of have talked about, kind of the things that we see, the things that we don't see that people maybe, like Sheila said, kind of take for granted a little bit just because you don't know. What are some of the challenges that you find working here in the historic district? What are some cities that don't really have this issue anymore, like Linwood? Like they have their own problems, but they don't really have a historic district where they have tree trunks as pipelines under the streets.
I mean, infrastructure is always an issue, but it's also hard to fund, especially as old as downtown is. The sidewalks are, I mean, we'd love to go through and put all new sidewalks and curb and gutter, but there's 10 other things that when you touch that sidewalk that you affect.
Right.
First off, you got to start the deepest thing, and that's going to be your sewer, right?
Right.
That's 1936 or something like that.
What is that? Is it clay?
It's clay tile.
Yeah.
We did a tie-in at First and D when we built the signal and put a new line across that intersection, just did some upgrades while we were doing the repair work. That stuff is solid. It's really big and thick, and it's not horrible, but it is old, and it needs to be, looked at. Yeah. So, and then you just come up, storm and water. Those are your next things. And then everything else on top is curb, gutter, sidewalk. Yeah. And getting as old as this town is, these buildings are all built in different times.
Right.
So your entry levels of each door is higher or lower. and to meet ADA, we got to be compliant with the sidewalk. So we got to try to transition and tie into all those. Well, that takes a lot of survey work.
Right.
It takes a lot of design work, to get that. and figure out where that road's going to be when we're done. Maybe the road's going to be up here.
Yeah.
Might be, down low. So, I mean, there's a lot to the historic district that there's a lot of things we'd like to do. And I think right now trying to get like a master plan of some sort and come up with a real, true, good plan will be a good starting point for us. And then, of course, the engineering and construction things, they'll come along in time.
Would the master plan enable like a more holistic view so that you guys aren't like patching one point and another and then making decisions that potentially works well for one spot but not another?
The master plan will give us the whole view, right? From one end to the other.
Right.
So we know exactly from one end to the other what we're going to, even if we build that in phases, we know that this is the plan.
Right.
This is where we're going to start. This is where we're going to finish. Everything will tie in, right?
Yeah. You can optimize the decisions knowing
and you can
what
base
all,
it on block by block but it's a huge undertaking. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I appreciate that explanation so much because it really helps understand why it can't just be a quick fix, that it's like, yes, it is a problem and we understand that it's a problem, but here's the reason that we can't just come in and fix your sidewalk,
Well, you saw the sidewalk repair we did last year.
Summer, right?
Yeah. Downtown restrooms there at B and First Street. What we found there is there's a retaining wall and there's a large drop off under that sidewalk. It goes into the building.
Oh,
well, a lot of those buildings are built out to the curb line. So that sidewalk is actually the roof of the building.
Oh, gosh.
Underneath it steps in. So we had to build a wall, fill that, and then re-put that cap back on in front of the antique store there to rebuild that sidewalk. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better and safer than it was. It took a lot of manipulating and things to get it to fit, but I think it turned out really good when it was all said and done.
Yeah,
that's just a piece.
That's a piecemeal.
I was going to say that's a great example because some of the feedback that we get, sometimes people don't know who to talk to about these things. And so HDSA is kind of this like global, I'll bring everything to you and that's fine. Why couldn't they just extend it up here? The sidewalk is so bad when you take, 25 steps in the other direction. And
as you go up that sidewalk to the east, that void becomes 30 feet deep.
Oh, that's why.
So by the time you get up there to the
bank or
edit.
When you get there, that's 30 feet deep. And those are the kind of obstacles that we got to look at. Master planning, getting that all dialed in for what the picture of it is going to be.
Yeah.
But then coming in and doing the engineering and design, those are all the little things that we need to take into consideration so that you don't have unforeseen things come up during the project.
Right.
And cost you, more money.
Like the Upside Down or something from Stranger Things, just living down there.
Exactly.
It is a little scary.
Yeah. I mean, as someone who, for the wine walks, I have to carry around a wagon full of A-frames.
Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Well, it is now Denya. So thank you, Denya. But that patch of sidewalk is usually my like arch nemesis because it is so tough, the angle. And then if there's people that are, looking at the windows there and trying to get around it. So the first time I got to like carry the wagon on that new sidewalk, I was just like in love. I was like, oh my God.
Did you just go back and forth?
That
little 80 feet, you just went back and forth.
But I'm always on a mission when I'm with that wagon. But I was like, the first time I rolled it over, it was like butter comparatively, right? And I was just like, oh, I am so happy right now. So thank you, Tim, and the rest of the public works, group for fixing that because little Sheila is so happy every time I walk by on that sidewalk now.
Well, and it's nice to hear that and to also think about things like ADA, which I'm so glad that you brought up. Like, you can't just touch something and leave it good enough. Like there's rules. You have to bring it up to compliance. You have to bring it up to building code. And sometimes that can be the reason where it's like, if this isn't, I would imagine, in the projections in the budget, if it's not a project that you can take on completely, then you can't do it.
Right.
So.
Well, and historic downtown's a good example because everything's so old.
Yeah.
Every time we touch a wheelchair ramp, that wheelchair ramp costs the city roughly $25,000 a ramp.
Jeez.
Wow.
Because we have to pay the prevailing wage and, contractor to do that work. When you cross a crosswalk, if we're doing road work and we go out into a crosswalk, it triggers us to upgrade those ramps to ADA.
Oh, so even if you're just doing the crosswalk, whatever the connecting points are?
I can do the maintenance of restriping the crosswalk. But if I excavate through there and put a conduit in because the street light's out, I've now triggered
You opened it up.
Requirements. I've opened up a Pandora's box. So one intersection, you can easily have 4 wheelchair ramps you're going to have to replace. Because now I fixed that one. I got to fix that one.
Which gives even more context to what you're saying about having the holistic master plan, because it's like, obviously it's not going to be just one sidewalk within downtown. So why would you spend all the money and the time when you're being mindful of taxpayer dollars to do a project like that, when you could extend all of that expense by doing the whole project and getting all of those things done.
Right, at one time.
Yeah.
Because the price isn't going to get any cheaper.
Right.
As we go on in time, things just get more expensive as we've seen. So, but also with the master plan, it also gives us an opportunity to phase that.
Yeah.
Where maybe we only want to spend X and then we're going to put it in that, but we're going to spend X the next budget cycle and X the next budget cycle so that you can spread your monies out a little bit. So you're not trying to dump all that at one time.
For sure. I appreciate all the thought. Like sometimes I get frustrated with how slow things go at the city just because I like to get things done. But the more I'm getting involved and learning, I'm like, I do appreciate that it takes as long as it does, because we're trying to be mindful of so many things. Yeah. And you don't want
so many departments that has to go through before you ever even get to the design.
You don't want to duplicate efforts. You don't want to waste money. And, it's a huge responsibility to be serving the public with their money that you want to do it well, right?
And the city isn't any different than a general citizen. Yeah. We have to get the permits just like everybody else.
Yeah. I've never thought about that.
And historic downtown is a good example that because their buildings are over 50 years old, there's a lot of historic things down there. They'll do archaeological assessments and those kind of things before we can even break ground. Yeah. Even though we all know it's been there, it's been dug up hundreds of times and things have been put in, and they still require those permits of us.
Yeah. You can't just skip over the process.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier for us to hire the consultants to do that work and get those kind of things done for us, just because we're so small.
Yeah.
So, how big is your team, out of curiosity?
My team?
Yeah. Or I guess public works in general?
Public works is approximately 25 people.
Wow. That's it?
So I can just rattle through them. Water department, there are 4 people. In collections, sewer is 2. Storm is 2. Facilities is 2. Streets is 4, and parks is 5.
Wow.
Jeez.
1 mechanic for everything that those guys operate.
Oh my gosh, for the fleet.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And you guys cover the entire city, right? Dang.
I have some notes.
That is crazy.
Because I think it's important. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Those 5 people that are in the parks department, for example, they're managing about 44 acres of parks property.
Wow.
For those 5 people. They're managing 2.7 miles of trail through the city, Centennial and interurban.
Wow.
So they maintain everything you see in that 43 acres is the parks playground equipment, the baseball fields.
Yeah.
I mean, everything.
It's not just like trimming, grass.
Right.
Yeah.
Leaf blowing, picking up the leaves.
Oh, geez.
And then the street department covers 40 miles of streets in the city of Snohomish.
How many are in the streets department?
4.
Wow.
1 lead, 3 maintenance workers.
Jeez.
So all the striping. Yeah. All the curbs, sidewalks, crosswalks. Yeah. Potholes that you see in town. Street lighting. Street lighting we work with PUD, but they still handle it if something happens.
Yeah.
All the traffic signals that are in town.
Wow.
That's those 4 guys.
Wow.
We contract the maintenance of that with Snohomish County. There's signal techs take care of all of our traffic signals for us. Keep them up to date.
That's crazy. Just 4 people to take care of the entire city's streets.
Yeah, I think the moral of this is next time you see anybody from Public Works, go up and say thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, these guys do a lot for the number of people we have. So, and
How long?
I just want to touch on this because the utilities guys, I don't want to leave them out. The water department.
Yeah.
They have 61 miles of water main that they maintain. Those 4 people. They have 3,674 water services that they take care of. And our average daily consumption, million gallons daily, is 0.86.
0.86 million gallons daily.
And those guys make sure that gets to you.
That's just
your home.
All the things we take for granted.
Yeah. The sewer department has 35 miles of pipes.
Oh, jeez.
They have 3,200 side sewers.
Wow.
The connections at the main. The storm guys, 37 miles of pipe, 1,950 catch basins that they have to clean annually.
How many?
Guys.
1950?
1950.
Jeez.
And they have 21 flow control structures on top of that discharge out to the Snohomish River in different locations.
And all you have to do is manage all of this.
No big deal.
No problem.
So I only have to manage streets, parks, and facilities and fleet. Tim Jackson manages the utilities division. So, and he does a good job.
That's crazy.
He's got good people.
How long have you been serving in this role?
Since November of 2019.
Okay, so interesting, because I thought you've been in this role for like forever. Because actually, when we came into this building, he was like, "Oh, my office used to be right here." He had the city offices were downstairs.
This office right here.
Oh my gosh!
I was in the office downstairs.
So
that was the engineering department.
You've been with the city then for quite a bit.
17 years.
Okay, what did you come into the city doing?
I was their senior engineering tech. So I inspected all capital projects.
Gotcha.
Private development. Mm-hmm. Anybody putting aside sewer, water service. So I did all the inspections and plan review.
And then how did you get suckered into the role that you're in now?
I was blindfolded.
Chained to a desk and you've been there ever since?
No, Mike Johnson, that was the previous me that had did it for, I think, 20 years. He retired. And so his position came open and Tim Jackson was the utilities manager at the time. And he come to me and said, "Hey, I think we could work good together." And
the two Tims.
So it's TNT down there. So I hemmed and hawed about it and he pressured me a lot. And then the previous administrator pressured me some more and said, "Do you like your job?" And so then I applied for it and ended up where I am now.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of a big step. I was a little nervous about honestly doing it, but it's kind of fun.
Kind of.
Yeah. There's stress to every job, right?
Right.
Different kinds of stress.
Mm-hmm.
I like building things. I like seeing things be built. So I'm in a position now that I was in a position at engineering. I got to see things built all the time, but it's a different aspect. Things are built, but now we're kind of maintaining them and keeping things going. So it's kind of the same, but a little different.
Yeah.
But I do have good staff and that makes my job a lot easier.
Yeah.
So
it's great to
always
have
good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What sort of industry did you come from? Have you always been in some sort of engineering facilities? No?
I grew up in the utility and road construction. My parents had a construction company growing up. And when I got out of high school, I went to work for the company my dad worked for because he had closed his company down and went to work for somebody else and was planning to retire with them. And then I became a general superintendent, started running the jobs, went to work for another company up north. And I had 4 jobs going to in Arlington and a couple down south. Stopped by my job in Arlington one day and City of Arlington come out and offered me a job. And I said, I don't think so. I said, but thanks for stopping by. And went home, talked to my wife. And 2 weeks later, I was working for the City of Arlington.
Wow.
And I was there for almost 5 years before I come to Snohomish.
What differences do you see between Snohomish and potentially other cities or sites that you've worked in, if any?
Snohomish is small. It's a lot like Arlington. Arlington's a little bigger, but I see a lot of similarities. One thing I liked about when I went to Arlington from construction side, their downtown is kind of like our first street downtown, right? Everybody knows everybody. And everybody, you see them in passing, you see them all the time. And Snohomish is the same way. The towns have changed.
Yeah.
They were both farming communities before, and they're not. And that's kind of the thing of the past.
Yeah.
So you got to either move with the times or move on.
Adapt or die.
Yeah.
So have you seen that in Snohomish in the 17 plus years that you've been here? Has that shifted how public works needs to operate?
No.
Yeah.
I think that we need to have a strong sense of ownership in what we do. I think that our people, need to understand that we work for the citizens of Snohomish. Appreciate the mayor and the administration, but our job really does work for the citizens of Snohomish.
Right.
They've give us the money to do what we can do, and that's what we're going to do the best we can with the money we have. So
yeah. Do you find that changing administrations affect the work that you do at all?
No, I think it affects people differently. We've seen administrations change. Everybody worries about, what's next?
Yeah.
But the reality is in public works is I don't feel we're impacted by the change of that. Our work doesn't change. We're still doing the same job.
Yeah.
how we do that job might change a little bit because somebody may want something different. But I think for the most part, I think Public Works is still pretty solid and doing what they need to do.
I guess that shows that like, the needs stay relatively the same
and the
throughout
backbone,
that department.
Right? Like there are some things that you just maybe can't or don't want to. Like you guys are the stable foundation to a lot of things. So it makes sense that you guys wouldn't be as, I guess, wavered by different, seasons or different administrations.
Yeah.
I guess to continue on, you've been here a while now. What are some of your like fondest memories maybe of like Snohomish and with your work with the Public Works? Are there any
projects you're proud of?
Yeah.
I didn't get to have much to do with the Averill Field upgrades for the Boys and Girls Club with the new playground and all that. But I was there for the demolition of Hummel Pool and getting it, basically setting the stage for what we did recently. Brian Collins in engineering was the project manager on that project for the new Averill Field. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a day there where that place ain't packed.
Yeah.
I mean, for like 2 weeks coming into work, I'd drive by there in the mornings and there'd be people there at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. It's been very well received.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's one project that's kind of cool. The rest of them, they're kind of boring.
Yeah.
I mean, we did 2nd Street. We did Maple Avenue. We overlaid that. And we overlaid 2nd Street and then 4th Street. So I was inspector on those projects. And to see those things getting done and you could see things starting to be improved.
Right.
And again, what you don't see is all the utility work that has to take place underneath that before we even put left the asphalt down. Yeah. To upgrade those things so that in the future, we don't have to mess with them.
Right.
Redig that street back up or what have you. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that was probably the biggest one that really jumped out because there was so much public involvement in it. And I mean, really, truly, that was a positive, positive project. So, and I think First Street will do the same thing once they get a master plan done. And you can see, people can see that because talking about it and showing slides on a wall, a lot of people can't envision the final product.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's important to be able to see that and say, hey, this is what we're going to build. And having that input from the public will.
It's that reminds me of what's that quote that's like, you plant the seed of the tree that you'll never sit under the shade of. Sometimes I feel like that's
right. We're building it for someone else.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of the foresight you have to have is where you're planning about something that like, maybe it's not going to be something that I take my kids, but maybe they'll take their kids.
That's right.
That. And you're investing in the future that way, the betterment of the citizens down the road.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good things take time, right?
Yeah, they do. And that's, people say, well, we've been hearing about this and hearing about it and we haven't seen it. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of planning and a lot of, a lot of work that goes unseen and people don't realize, a lot of people, I used to always joke about this, that people want a new road in front of their house and we go out there to build that new road. And now they're mad because we got the road tore up.
Yes.
They really hope that the construction fairy come along, sprinkled some magic dust when they went to bed and woke up and the new road's there. It doesn't work that way.
Someday.
It takes destruction to have construction to build something. So
it takes destruction to make construction. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I'm going to use that at work.
Oh boy.
Like Tim Cross says this.
Yeah. It's like a very wise man once said.
I thought for sure you were going to say the Christmas tree was one of your most memorable projects, but that's okay if it doesn't.
Actually, I don't think of it as a project.
Oh,
okay.
When I think of a project, I'm thinking groundbreaking and building something. Carnegie there was a good example.
Yeah.
Destruction, construction. Now we got a beautiful building over there. Yeah. So the Christmas tree, I don't see that as a project. I see that more as a partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, really, honestly, that's what it was. And it turned out even today, it's still a huge hit.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I
love it. Every year. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, and you probably love that I don't even have to loop you in every year now. It just happens. It's like
so
on autoplay now.
Megan's caused havoc in Public Work. There's a 3-page list that I printed off today and brought with me that all started with a Christmas tree.
There you go.
No. I am excited about those things, which by the time this podcast launches, they will be there. First Street is going to look so beautiful First Street does look beautiful for when you're hearing this. I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks about it.
The most magical time of the year.
And that we can all bring cookies to Public Works to say thank you because it's going to be so beautiful. I'm so excited.
Starting next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go take a walk down First Street and see what we're talking about.
There are going to be surprises.
Because if they haven't seen it, if they're listening and they haven't been down the First Street, I don't want to spoil it. I want them to see it.
It's going to be really nice.
And I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah. And especially because this is something that I talked about in the beginning of my job, and to see it happening now, I'm like, yay.
I think from what it was in the past when I first came here to what it's going to be this year.
Yes.
Is a huge step forward.
Yeah.
Wow.
Service Electric is helping us with some of the taller things.
I love that you're using local.
So we went and talked to them, and they're going to partner with us and help us do some of the installation. So
yeah, I'm so grateful to you and to Nova and to Siobhan. Siobhan's been so great.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she was a needed element to kind of help get some of these projects coordinated and
because she can take them and run with them.
Yeah, she does great. I like her. I like her ambition. The two of us in a room are bad though. And we both realized we had really expensive tastes because we were like, oh, I like that one. Oh, it's $25,000.
Yes, she brought me back the slideshow and I was like, whose budget this came out? Who approved that out of my budget?
Yeah. But she does think big, and I like that about her.
Yeah.
So, Tim, do you live in you don't need to tell us where you live, but are you a resident of Snohomish?
I am not a resident.
Okay.
I live in unincorporated Snohomish County.
Okay. So you're nearby.
Yes. Very close.
Do you spend much time downtown aside from when you're working?
Yes. My wife loves First Street.
Of course she does.
Yes.
So maybe you're going to have to hybrid this question because we always end our podcast asking, describe your perfect day in downtown Snohomish. You can describe your wife's perfect day and what you're doing to make that happen.
My perfect day is when I show up and there's no traffic in town.
Oh, there you go.
I think that's a lot of other people's too.
I can drive down First Street and I don't see anybody.
So before 7 a.m.?
That's usually around 5:30.
Yeah.
No. Perfect day in Snohomish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does that look like for you and Mrs. Cross? Mrs. Public
for my
Works.
wife, it's making sure she hits every shop that she loves to shop at.
What are her favorites?
Twice. The
Maple and Moss.
Maple and Moss. She loves that one, but she likes the candle one right here.
Oh, Malicious Women?
No. Well, that one. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. We have a few of those. The one right at the corner of...
Oh, cinnamon stick.
Cinnamon stick. My house smells like a cinnamon stick. I come home like, oh, what's for dinner?
Cinnamon stick.
Nothing. It's a candle. Great.
There's no apple pie waiting for you. It's just...
My house is decorated in antiques. So
I love that.
All of her glass, all of her cabinets are, 1800s, early 1900s.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Or all over in our travels or something. So
I love that.
Her mom and her were really into the antique stuff. So
yeah. So what do you do while she's shopping? Do you shop with her?
No, I usually have to find a place to park the truck to load it. That's my job, is to load and haul
her treasures.
Her treasures. Yes. Yes. One person's junk is another person's treasure, and my wife has lots of treasures.
I love it.
Yeah.
Do you find that it's hard to remove yourself from the work mindset when you're down here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I honestly try not to come to town when I'm off. My wife has to beg because it is hard. And being from the engineering department and working with the general public all the time, people know me. In this position, I deal with the public a lot more than utilities division does, just because I'm dealing with the parks, I'm dealing with the streets. And so people are constantly calling about a pothole or their sidewalk is uneven and they want it fixed. And it makes it hard for me to come to town.
Yeah, I can see that.
On my time.
Yeah.
So I have to explain to my wife, like, we're going grocery shop, we're going like early in the morning. And what time does your store open? Okay, I'm going to make hot laps and I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Or you have to come incognito, like in disguise, so that people can't recognize you.
Halloween mask on,
exactly.
9 months out of the year.
Exactly.
It's horrible. No, it's hard because you do have to have a balance.
For sure.
And I think it doesn't take away from what I think is important, what my job is for the citizens of Snohomish. Just because I don't live in the heart of Snohomish.
Right.
I still live I'm still part of the community.
Well, obviously you care if you have a hard time turning it off, right?
Yeah. Yes. It is hard.
Yeah.
One of the things I told somebody not too long ago, when you're visiting our parks and, you're griping about they didn't get the lawn mowed this week or something. One of the things that people have to realize is that when we're working in these parks, we're not just serving the 10,000 residents of Snohomish.
Yeah.
Right.
The reality is we're serving 100,000 residents in unincorporated Snohomish County that surrounds, that still is considered Snohomish.
Yeah.
But they don't live in town.
Yeah.
And all the visitors too, right? We get people from everywhere that come in here, and what they see is from you guys' work. You know?
Right.
That's one thing that I've always found really interesting, because we actually have a really small like citizen count, you know, for where funding is coming from versus the amount of people that are utilizing those things that require funding.
Right.
And you're serving a much larger group off of limited funds and kind of bearing that burden for so many people coming in. And it's like, I appreciate that we have, you know, people enjoying our parks, coming into town, doing the things that we have to offer here. And at the same time, it's like, how do you adequately take care of that with the limited resources? Well,
and it's hard too that you want to put a level of service on things.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask us, what's your level of service? What are you asking me?
Yeah.
What do you consider a level of service?
Right.
Because we can base it on population or we can base it on users.
Yeah.
And same with our streets and our roads.
Yeah.
Right.
We get a major cut through of traffic coming through the city of Snohomish, running between Highway 9 and Highway 2.
We need a detour.
Yep.
Residents can come through town.
Well, we don't want to detour tourists from coming to town.
I know, I'm kidding.
We want people to come to town, but we want you to come and stay in town.
Yes.
Not just pass through. Yeah. And that's a big thing here. You're passing through from 9 to 2, from, you know, bypassing 9 to go up D to catch 9 again, or Big
or go up to Lake Stevens and
204. Or,
it's
I mean, we got cut throughs just.
Yeah.
And so when we're looking at our road bases and looking at traffic counts, that traffic counts. Not just the 10. I mean,
it absolutely
does. Not just the citizens of Snohomish that are using Avenue D to get from home to the grocery store, the kids to school. It's the commuters in the morning, the commuters in the afternoon. And that's wear and tear on roads that the 10,000 residents of Snohomish are paying for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good point.
Man, that is just so many things that I'm learning about today. So many things I never had to think about, because I'm lucky that we have people like you and your team that gets to think about all this fun stuff. But it just goes to show, you know, like how much we really need to make sure we appreciate you guys. Bring those cookies and donuts, because you guys are doing such service. They burn them
off really fast, so that's good.
Well, and I think that's such a testament to the work that they're doing, Sheila, because it's like, if you aren't noticing, that means they're doing such a good job.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. Because people, unfortunately, we do have a tendency to notice when things aren't quite right. You know?
It's the negative.
So you guys are doing great.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
But thank you so much to you, Tim.
And make sure they all listen to this podcast.
Yeah. But I also do hope, you know, the citizens and the tourists and the people, the passerbyers that do use Snohomish have a new appreciation for, you know, really what it takes to maintain everything that we have here, and just how much work and effort it is. And I am still surprised at how small the team is. Like, in my head, I built it up to this, like, oh yeah, they have like 50, 100 people, right, to take care of all of this. And to hear the number of just 25.
The entire City of Snohomish employee count, I think, is about 60.
Yeah. I also did not know
that. The entire
that.
city.
Yeah. But
hard workers.
That's administration, office staff, and everything. So we're half.
It's amazing.
I will shamelessly say that I'm always a proponent for adding staff because I think that we need it. We need help.
We got a lot of things to take care of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time tonight. It was a delight.
Snohomish Storytellers, brought to you by the Historic Downtown Snohomish Association, produced by Red Trucks.